Good morning, welcome back. Today is Wednesday. Hope you're all well. Do grab yourselves a cosy drink and hopefully you are at home and you can settle in because today we are in for a it's quite a dark day today and it's quite rainy too. We're in for a dark, rainy but fun vlog. This is my second coffee of the day and I really need a sip. I love all of our independence, but the days that I go to IKEA, it's just routine. I always stop for a Starbucks and it's always a caramel macchiato. We are out on the road, we are out and about today. I am popping over to IKEA. I say pop in, whoever pops to IKEA. Unless you need to go in there for one thing, you don't really pop to IKEA. When I go, I like to almost think that I'm heading off on a day trip to a museum. Do you know what I mean? You need to give yourself a good amount of time. Well, first of all, to get there. So it's not that far. It's about 50 minutes from here, but it's currently just gone 9 a.m. So it's rush hour. So I'm quite happy just to sit and chat and have my coffee. The roads will be a little bit busy for me, to be quite honest with you. I don't know about you, but quite often when I go to IKEA, I can get very, very distracted in the shop because it is so big and things take my eye. I mean, it's very cleverly designed. So I've got myself a little shopping list. I've got my glasses here, so I won't be able to read my own writing. I've sectioned this off: kitchen, main room, bedroom, bathroom, office, hallway. In the kitchen, I need a sink drainer. I, by accident, threw out the draining part from my last one, so I'm going to buy one of those. And then I mentioned to you on Wednesday that we have got our friend coming over. He's our friend, but he's also our guy that does everything around the home for us, DIY jobs. There's quite a bit going on at home, which I'll inform you about later on. We need a hinge because he's going to fix the washing machine door. In the bedroom, I want to look for a larger mirror. I can see the trees, I can see the weather and the change in seasons, but the space there would take a larger mirror, which means it would have more of a reflection from the window. I also want a couple of drawer mats. They're made from felt and I'm sure I bought them from IKEA before. In the office we need a cushion inner and I need some whiteboard pens for my family fun phonics business. In the main room I'm going to look at plant pots. I want to pick up some tea lights. I've said to GB it would be good for us just to have almost like an emergency kit. I know this may sound quite strange, but it's one of my New Year's resolutions to have, is just have a box that you know where it is, where you've got batteries, torches, candles, matches, that sort of thing. My other New Year's resolution was to have an emergency first aid kit in the car, which I've got. I've popped it down there, of plasters and that sort of thing. So I've already ticked off that New Year's resolution, but this one is more about being prepared for the unexpected so that both GB and I know where they are just in case we need them. Yes, I'm that sort of girl. Please let me know if you are like-minded and think of these things. I've got a question mark about the hallway. I'm wondering if to have a runner, like a rug runner that would match our living room, just to give it a little bit more texture and life in there. But our hallway is a funny angle. It sort of goes round at a sharp point and I'm just not sure, but if I go and have a look, I've got my measurements down here that I need and I'll just see if there's anything to inspire me. And I'm saying this to you right now, I am going to try my best to avoid I'm just watching a very large van try to get in a very small space. He's only gone and done it. Sometimes you want to give people a round of applause when they do something. That was incredible. How did he do that? And he's got space either side. He did it the once. Well done, van driver. Well done. I am going to try my best to avoid the houseplants. There is no houseplants that I need, so I really need to avoid them and just not engage with them at all. As soon as I start to look, it's like they call to me that they need looking after in my home. So I'm going to try my best. I'm saying this right now. I'm going to try my best to walk straight past the houseplants. What do you think? Do you think I can do it? My coffee's nearly finished. Why do they go so quick? How is your drink going? Do you need to top up? I will see you when I get to IKEA. I'm going to drive safely. I'm going to put Classic FM on and I'll see you there. Quick another sip of my coffee. I've managed not to spill it today, so that's always a bonus. It has stopped raining, thankfully, but it's still very, very dark today. I feel like it's going to be one of those very grey British days today. I'm going to keep focused. I mentioned in my last vlog about intentional purchases. So I always think, do I need this? Has it got a purpose? Do I want it? The want is the area that's always tricky because the need and the purpose almost decides whether you're going to want it. The reason I think like this is because I've spent time organising, sorting, decluttering the home. And the last thing I ever want to do is be back in the position again where I've got too much stuff or stuff that I don't need. So it's intentional purposes only. I will always keep that now in my mind whenever I shop. As I was driving here, I was thinking about what is it that I'm going to show you in IKEA. And I think really keeping it on my own theme of neutral styles, natural fabrics, things that I would recommend or use or have would be the best use of me going into IKEA and sharing the footage with you. So let's go in, let's go and see what we can discover. And I'm going to keep focused to my list. I'm going to try and avoid the houseplants. Probably noticed that I used the word try and not the word will. Let's go in and see what happens. Well, I have to say, it's great that it stopped raining, but it is very, very dark out, quite cold. So let's get into the warm. I just knew it'd be far too hot to wear my coat and my scarf in there. So taking off the layers, let's go in.
Waking up in the flower bed, the sun is up, table set, we eat and drink. Body and bread, blood and wine, there's a time to live, time to die, and a time to be. Slow down and listen for a heartbeat.
So our kitchen design was based on this one. So we've got black cabinets, we've got the wooden top, we have got a metal sink, and we have this tap as well. Let me show you the tap. The tap's 115. We love the handles. Phoebe and I have always loved black, stainless steel and wood all together. Just brings it together so nicely. I love the dark inky blue as well. I'm not really one for blue, but in here it really works well. So here is the Platza wardrobe. I mean, it could go under the stairs, it could go anywhere. We've got one of these in our bedroom. You'd measure the top to the bottom on the tallest section, and then the shortest section, and it will give you different combinations depending on your space. I'm often asked where I buy my string carrier bags from. They are just IKEA, and they come in a pack of 2, I believe. Let's have a look. So yeah, they come in a pack of 2, so you've got the bigger one, they stretch right out, and then a smaller one. For the 2, they're £5. Kitchen area is definitely my favourite in IKEA. Probably all seen my kitchen drawers, so they are IKEA, and these fit so beautifully inside. So why they're great is that they're angled, so they fit exactly into the drawer. We're completely converted to cast iron. I think I came to IKEA and bought one, possibly this one, at £35, and then made a trip back to buy more. So they've got different sizes. I think we've got this size, so that one's 25. We've got the larger cast iron at 29. We've also got the griddle pan. So the griddle is there at 29. And then the frying pan's also there, that's 29 as well. Standard IKEA lids fit onto those pans really well. The splash guard is £4, again fits on top beautifully. You'll probably recognise this pot. It's my favourite item in our kitchen. This one is $49. I'm sure it used to be $45. I've been thinking about whether to pick up the casserole dish as well, because I'm sure it's something that we would definitely use at home. This one is £59. We also have the very large casserole dish. That is too big for our family. No price. Let me see if I can find the price of that one. 69. It's £69, the largest one. We have a few of the steamers as well. These are £12 and they just fit so beautifully inside. Perfect fit. I love that they collapse as well, so great for storage. I think if I was to buy them again, I'd probably buy the ones with the shorter handles, just for space really. I can always guarantee that IKEA will be great for glass jar storage. There's so many different types in here. These ones are great. They're £2 each in the sale. They're chalk around the bottom, so you could relabel them. The little ones are reduced as well to £3. These would look lovely in a pantry or a drawer at home. I always stop and look at the placemats. I always feel like a placemat is a great way just to make your table look different for different times of the year. These ones would look lovely on a summery table. Probably use these ones in the summer as well. There is a lovely collection of seagrass natural material placemats. We have these at home. I love to make different table setups, so they just sit in my making the table drawer. We love these little black linen napkins, but they have such a good selection. I really like these ones as well. These are £4. I always come over to have a little look at the seat pads for the kitchen stools. So we have these ones at home. They're £12 each. I love looking at all the different utensils. You'll all know how much I love an apron. My main apron is from here. I really do like this dark grey one. I'm in that situation now where I've got the want, but do I need? I love the texture of it. Probably don't need another apron at the moment. They have that one in teal as well. These remind me of schools that I've been an advisor for, because we would often recommend natural storage baskets for all of the little toys. I think I may take a couple of these downstairs and just put some plant pots in them, just see if they're big enough. I think they're £10, they're definitely this basket, but also it says that each basket is woven by hand. I've put a couple of different options in my basket, so let me show you what I've got. They're in the sale from 17 down to 12, I think. I've actually fallen in love with these ones, so these are £10 each. They also fold up like this, so they're great for storage. I'm currently in the home storage wardrobe storage area, and this is where I'm thinking that I may be able to find those felt mats that I wanted for the drawers. So let's have a quick race round and see if we can find them. They are downstairs, aisle 44 in self-serve, rather than up here in the home organisation. They think that they used to be up here, but no longer up here, so we're heading downstairs. That's the lampshade there that we have in our bedroom, £19. Love the texture of this one. Love the style of these light bulbs. We have these up in our kitchen. They are £7 each, and they've got that real antique vibe, but they're also very, very warming. That larger one there is the mirror that I was talking about. That's £45. My eye has actually gone to this mirror here as well. I've got back storage there where you could hang things from. It's $99. Oh dear, oh dear. I'm in the plant section. I did say I would try, but it's very, very difficult because they have such a beautiful selection. I love how vintage this one looks. It reminds me of something that my mum used to have. Over this way are the rugs, so let's go and see if I can find something for the hallway. Found the door runners, just need to measure up. I'm just in from my round trip to IKEA. I've still got my coat on because it's quite cold in the apartment. I'm going to pop the heating on in a minute. Everywhere is still quite dark. We saw a little glimmer of sunshine earlier on in the day, but it pretty much has stayed quite heavy all day. It really, really has. We are definitely in midwinter. I did pick up a few bits in IKEA and they ticked the boxes of, do we need it? Has it got a purpose? Do I want it? I'm quite proud of myself. I haven't needed to sneak in any plants. Typically it's a day when GB is actually working at the main office rather than at home. I definitely could have convinced myself that I needed maybe one or two whilst I was there, but I was sort of quite headstrong because after the plants in IKEA is the rugs, and I wanted to have a look at the rugs there for the hallway. Now I've brought everything in, there is a question mark over, is something going to work? It definitely has a purpose, but is it going to work? So I may need another trip back just to return something, but we'll work all that out very, very soon. It's getting quite dark now, so I'm going to pick my camera up again tomorrow and put today and tomorrow together for you for Saturday, so you will see the home styling. But I think it'll probably be better to do that in the daylight rather than this half light that we've got. So let's have a look and see what I've picked up in IKEA today. I do need to take my coat off and get the heating on. It's quite cold. So starting with the mirror, as I said, it's just a larger version than the one that we already had, and I can already see that I think that this size will be so much better on this wall because it will reflect the window, which is why I like this one angled, and I think that this will definitely be an improvement. I thought the mirror was a great price, £45. I've got an idea for the original mirror. I don't know whether we should turn it on its side so that it's horizontal and then have it midway up the wall above the bedboard. I'm not sure. I want to have a little look on Pinterest just for ideas. I either repurpose that mirror in the home or we donate it to charity. Earlier on I mentioned one of my New Year's resolutions, and that was to start creating an emergency kit just so that we've got one at home in case there's any power cuts or the weather's really bad. Who knows? I just felt like we haven't got anything that we can just grab. The reason that this has come about is that during late summer last year, we did have a power cut, but it wasn't just localised. It seemed to be as far as you could see. So looking out of the apartment window, we could see that everywhere was out. It was absolutely pitch black. It made us realise that we were not prepared at all. You'll know that I'm somebody who loves to be prepared. As soon as there is a little whisper that we're going to have snow, I have made sure that we've got flour, eggs, milk in the fridge, and that we have got maybe a few treats, hot chocolate, marshmallows. I'm not sure that we've ever been snowed in, but you just don't know. So I like to be prepared, and buying candles just feels right. Here are the candles that I picked up, 24 little candles. I also picked up 2 pillar candles. These were £1.50 each. I mentioned that I needed some whiteboard pens. Being a teacher, I use these all the time. I love this set because I've got the 4 colours. On the back is the board rubber, so they're absolutely fantastic. I will use different colours with the children depending on what we're doing, what we're learning. Like red, for example, is red rhyme. So any words that rhyme, I will underline in red. The set was £2.50. At first, I thought they had run out of these napkins. I absolutely love them. We've got 2 already, but I use them all the time for wrapping up bread, that sort of thing, maybe cakes, things that I need to store that I know that can just be wrapped. £2 each, great price, and they're a great size. So we'll style these up tomorrow. They were £9 each. I thought they were £10 in the shop. They're hand woven, and I just think they are gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. I did manage to find the drawer liners. I say drawer liners, I'm going to be using them for something a little bit different. I've got 2 in the light grey and I bought 1 in the dark grey, and they were £5 each, and I use them in a particular way at home, and I'll share that with you tomorrow. Lastly, I did manage to find the hallway rugs at £39 each. I absolutely love these hallway rugs, and they match what we've got in the main room as well, so it would look really nice if they flow through. However, I've now got a question mark on them. I love them, but I'm not sure that they're going to work. My question mark is over the bathroom door. I'm just not 100% sure if it's going to open and close, but we'll work all of that out tomorrow. Good morning, it is now Thursday. We've woken up to a beautifully foggy morning this morning. It's the perfect morning actually to be snuggled up indoors. I am going out a little bit later on today. I have a hair appointment at 11:15. You know when your hair is just absolutely desperate for a dye. I feel like I missed an appointment somewhere over Christmas and New Year. So normally with my hairdresser, I book up quite far in advance. But I think on my last appointment, I just assumed that I had my next one. It was only last week when I thought, I've not had my hair done for ages, and it's incredibly grey. I'm probably 99.9% grey these days, and I'm getting tired of spraying it or using a little brush. Today I'm going to have my roots done. Yes, please, my roots done. And then my hairdresser is just going to cut in my fringe. I may go for a slightly deeper fringe, and particularly this side. I feel like this side is quite long, and I want a very curtain style or butterfly fringe. I feel like I've got a little bit of a swoop going on this side. I know that a lot of it's down to the styling and how you either straighten your fringe and swoop it back, or you blow dry it in that motion. But this side definitely needs a little bit of a chop. And then I'll leave with my hair wet today because I am really looking forward to a super cozy afternoon at home, and then I am off to the gym for a long late night swim, and I absolutely love to do that. I try and do that once or twice in the week around my aqua aerobics classes. So I'm really looking forward to doing that, but it does mean that later on today I will be mooching around the house with my hair wet. So I hope you don't mind. I will be in my true self, let's say, GB was working away yesterday, so he got home quite late and we had chili con carne for dinner, but we both had a little bit of work to do. So we set ourselves up on a sofa each and we had Nigella Lawson's cooking program on the projector. If you know of Nigella, you'll know that the way that she talks about food, she could be talking about very loving moments, let's say. I mean, we all have loving moments with food, but I really enjoy watching the aesthetics of her cooking program. I love the cinematic lighting, the sound of her voice, just the food in general, and it was really nice background TV. So GB and I probably worked quite late last night, but that is what life is like. Sometimes we have to work late, and I like to do that. I mentioned this in my previous vlog. Sometimes I will work late, which gives me time later on in the week or at the weekend. So actually we had a really cozy evening. I had my blanket on me, laptop on. We just cracked on with a little bit of work. I went to bed last night really quite excited about home styling with the few bits that I bought from IKEA. I really am quite unsure whether the rugs will work in the hallway or not. Yesterday evening I realised that I forgot something from the list. When I was standing here washing up, it was one of the main reasons for me going, because it's one of those small items that you really don't want to pay the IKEA delivery on. I forgot the sink drainer and I am very, very annoyed at myself because, oh, it's just so frustrating at the moment when I'm washing up. And that was one of the reasons why I went. So let's go and do a little bit of home styling. There will be a keep and there will be a take back pile because I need to go back for the sink drainer. So you'll remember that I picked up the larger mirror, and that really is to go in exactly the same place as the slimline one, but I'm hoping that the larger one will reflect more of the window, which is behind you. And also when I've got a plant or the Christmas tree and the twinkly lights, I did think that over Christmas time I wish I'd have had the larger mirror then. But when you have a mirror in a room, it just helps to reflect the light and make your room feel bigger. Okay, now it's for the baskets that I bought. I really love that they tuck into themselves, and if you pull out the handles, they become bigger. I'm hoping that these will help to provide a different texture and give a better proportion to the plant. So let's show you the plants as they are. These two plants, so this one and also this one, they're huge now. These are what started my plant addiction. I'm behind here somewhere. I bought them both for the main room. They were really quite small and they were bought in the new year. You know that time when you take the Christmas tree down and everywhere looks bare? We didn't have any plants at all then. And I said to GB, I'm going out to buy two. I had no idea about house plants, and these have lived on and on and on. I really feel like they probably need repotting at some point. This one just thrives and thrives and thrives. I bought these white pots from IKEA and I love the idea that they are white and they match the white bedroom. But one of the things I'm trying to incorporate into this room is more layering and more texture. So hopefully these hand woven baskets will do the trick. Did test it out in store just to make sure that they fit, because as I say, the pots are from there. Oh, it's heavy. It will fit. Here it comes. Wow. That looks so much better. So much better. So that's one. I'm really happy with that. And then two. So heavy. Come on. They look so much better. I do need to decide where to put them. This one normally sits here. I love them. I'm so happy with them. As with any house, there's always bits and pieces to do, and unfortunately some of my skirting boards come away, and now that I've said it, you'll probably be able to notice it all the time, and you'll wonder when I'm going to get it fixed. I've got a star at the top there, and it fell down and landed on the skirting board and took a chunk out, so I might just move the plant to help hide it. Do we all do that at home? Hide little things that need doing with something else. Yesterday when I was in IKEA, I mentioned about the Palazzo organisation underneath an arched ceiling, and this is it. This one looks very different to the one that you saw yesterday, but it's great for this bedroom. Originally there was a built-in ugly wardrobe and we just knocked it down, and this is so much better for storage. I said to you earlier that I'm trying to continue to build up textures in this room. I love a very calm, neutral bedroom. One of the things I do to add just a little bit of extra warmth is I have added a felt mat to the top. However, this one is about a year old and they get discoloured. It also arrived with a pattern on it. This is from IKEA. I'll just show you the one that was on there. So you can see it has the white pattern on it, and I'm actually not that keen on the pattern, but I kept it. I think it was about £4 or £5. I'll scrub this up and I'm going to repurpose this around the home. A white magic sponge will get rid of this. This was a little coffee mark. Any surprises? Who put that there? I wanted to replace it with the marl grey. We need to mark this off there. I'm using my favourite scissors here. I'll show you them. You may have seen these already. I absolutely love these scissors. They are Paper Chase, but from years ago now. These mats are great. You can line your drawers with them. You can put them on worktops. Right, let's see if that fits. Right, perfect. Put the little radio there. Oh, matches perfectly, doesn't it? I've got some left over and obviously repurposed the one that was on. I'll show you what I'm going to do with this later on today. So much better. Well, it's this next job that I'm quite unsure about, and the issue is this door. So let's get one of the rugs. We won't know unless we try. I was really impressed actually with IKEA because I spoke to somebody in the rug section, because some of the rugs had plastic on them and some of them were using the jute string, and she explained that the jute is part of their sustainability programme, and it makes sense. Why would you need a rug wrapped up in plastic? It also means you can test it at home and they can easily resell if it's no good. As I mentioned yesterday, what's great about this rug is it does match the one in the main room, and I've got two of these because this hallway has got an angle, so it comes down here and then goes round the corner there in our apartment. What do we think? Do we think this is going to work with the bathroom door or not? I bet it's going to look nice, but it may not work. We can only but try, Cher, we can only but try. I'm definitely one of those people who does not think things through. It goes so well as well with the basket there. I really like it with the basket. Definitely looks lovely. I mean, ideally it needs to go there. I can see this is not going to work. Here's the bathroom door. No. We can't be doing that every time we want to go to the bathroom. I wonder how it would work in the other section of the hallway. Let's just use this rug and have a quick look. So there's the other section. Let's just see, is that better with the light on? I think it might be better with the light off. It's more natural like that, isn't it? Okay, let's move the rug round so you can see the idea that I've had. One thing that we are looking to do is replace the flooring in here and the main room. So again, I think it looks really nice. Definitely matches our style of home, but I can see another issue, and that is that we have the shoe storage cupboard that doesn't open. Okay, unfortunately, I don't think that is going to work. We'll wrap that back up. We'll take that back. I mentioned this last night to my best friend when we were having a chat. And she said the trouble is when you take something back to IKEA, you drive to IKEA thinking you're going to be putting money back into your bank account. But there is something that makes you walk back around the store and you end up spending even more. That is probably what will happen. These rugs would definitely have fitted into the needed purposeful boxes. Also, I wanted them as well. When we're out and about and come back into the home, it can get quite cold, and I was really thinking it would be very warming and it would flow through the apartment. Everything would match and it would just be a nice texture under our feet once we're home. But unfortunately, these are just not right. Well, it's not that these are not right. The apartment's not right for the rugs, let's say. I need to stop doing home styling. I wish I could just home style all day, but it won't be long and I'll need to walk through the hairdresser's door. But there is a lovely walk that I'm going to take you on back out in the area that I used to live.
I'll be in Wisconsin, where my childhood was found. I've been talking about getting out of town, or out to the mountains, where I can put my anchor down. I'm gonna get out of town. I'm going crazy. Gotta put my hands to work. I'm thinking maybe I'll find it in the dirt. And it feels strange to me, like I'll never shake in earth. I'm gonna put my hands to work. I'm not afraid of the edge, I'm afraid of the middle, afraid of too much, I'm not afraid of too little, they're not enough.
I've just got in the car from a beautiful winter's walk. The fog has lifted now in most places, but my fingers are very red and cold. I'm looking forward to getting into the hairdressers and having a nice cup of coffee there. So nice to be back in my old village. I absolutely love where we live now and I wouldn't change it, but being back home does feel really, really nice as well. There's just so much to see. Even in the car, I'm looking around. I'm sitting at the moment by the park and the cricket pitch is being looked after. And the man who looks after the cricket pitch was a parent of two boys that I used to teach when they were in reception. They are both now adults and he's still looking after the village green. Wow. I'm just out of the hairdressers. As I mentioned to you, my hair is wet and that is because I'm going for a late night swim tonight, and I just thought there is no point wasting my lovely hairdresser's time by blow drying and straightening it because it takes such a long time just to go and get it wet again this evening. I absolutely love my hair salon. So lucky. It's based in my old village that I used to live in. It feels like home from home in there. Everybody is so welcoming and it's a really lovely place to be. I am so lucky that each hairdresser in there really knows my hair so well. I've had 3 stylists work with me today and it's been lovely just having a little catch up with each of them. They are all so wonderful over there. I know that they watch the vlog and just thank you so much for fitting me in today. I've had a little bit more of my fringe cut off this side, a little trim on this side as well. We are thinking about a slightly different style on my next visit. So I've had a little preparation for that and just had a tiny bit more off the bottom. I've had roots done, a toner put in, and I know that when I come to style in my hair tomorrow, it will feel really nice. I'm going to get the big rolling brush and really curl it under. I've got this vision in my mind about what I would like my hair to look like. And the only way I can describe that to you is I want it really thick at the bottom, like chunky, thick, but straight along the bottom, and then just a few layers put in my hair. I don't want my hairstyle to be a triangle, and then having just a few layers at the back will just help to lift it from its roots there, just to give me a little bit more shape. So I'm absolutely delighted, and I'm heading off home, and I've got an afternoon just pottering around the house doing little homely things. So let's get back, get settled, get cozy, and just potter around the home. I think it's possibly my favourite thing to do. Are you like me? The feeling of putting your front door key in the door, stepping over, closing the door behind you, locking the door, and knowing that you are back home, back to your nest. It's not a very big nest and there's a lot to do here, but I just love the feeling of being at home. And there is nothing like the feeling of having a potter around in the afternoon. I often say to GB, it is my favourite thing to do, and it really is. I call it faffing around. Those afternoons where you can just faff. Do you know what I mean? You don't really have a plan, but you know that you're probably going to get a little bit of housework done, maybe a little bit of baking, maybe a little bit of watering the plants, looking after your own little creation. And it is a very little creation here, but we just love it. I have, of course, made myself a coffee. The time is 2:20. This is a decaf. Otherwise, I'll be wired all night. So I've got myself a nice warm decaf, and I thought I'd just show you what I do with my hair after I've been to the salon if I know that I'm just going to wear it down and not dry it. There was no point having it dried over at the hairdresser's. So it's wet. It's got no product on it now because it's been washed, it's been conditioned, it's had a toner, then reconditioned again. So it's not got any leave-in product in at the moment. So come with me. We're going over to the mirror in the main room. I think I've said this to you before. I like that mirror because there's a lot of light. Sometimes I use the bathroom. I should use the bathroom because I do have a lit up makeup mirror in there. But this area over here is still better for me. So let's head over here and I'll show you what I do. I'll often leave my hair to dry naturally and avoid the heat. There are two different products, both Olaplex, that I use for different effects. So if I'm going to wear my hair curly, then I will use Olaplex number 9. And if I'm going to just let it dry, which I'm going to do today, and I feel very brave about continuing to vlog with my hair like this. I do have a lot of hair anxiety, particularly if it's not styled. But if it's a day like today where I'm just going to potter around the house and just be, I will use the Olaplex number 6. So this is the one that I use. That's just a good pea-sized blob. This is like a styling cream, and you can put this in after your hair is styled or before. And I am just rubbing it through. One of the reasons why I love this number 6 is that if you've straightened your hair and you've used this styling cream at the end, it will rework itself like the next couple of days, or the next few days for me. So I'm just literally making sure that it's all in, just smoothing it down. Just going to run my hands in because it's just a little bit left. I love to do this. This is one of my favourite things to do. Just really give my head a little bit of a massage, and it gives me a little bit more lift. And that's basically it. I'm sure that you'll notice that my hair gets frizzier as the afternoon goes on. Hopefully I'm amongst friends and you really don't mind what my hair looks like. I'll see how comfortable I am with it. I may just tie it up before I go to the pool. Probably still be wet actually. By the time I swim this evening, it's very thick, it's very coarse, and it can take hours and hours to dry. So by the time I swim this evening, It will probably still be damp, and then I'll swim and then rewash it, and then I will do something really naughty and I will sleep on it wet. And I know that you're probably going to tell me off for doing that, because I know that that is one of the things that you really should not do. And I really spend time looking after my hair. However, that is the one thing that I do that I really shouldn't do. I know, I can hear what you're saying without you even having to say anything. You will be saying, do not sleep with your hair wet. And I'm just looking out the arch window, because the arch window is right next to this mirror, and there's still no sunshine today. Absolutely none. It's white up there, actually. If you didn't know better, it looks like snow, but it's too mild to snow today. And it's not raining either. It's just a very grey, dull looking day. The sorts of days actually that I love. I love a dull looking day, especially when I'm inside. Do you remember those felt mats that I bought and showed you earlier? There's something else that I want to do with the second mat. So let's go back through into the main bedroom and I'll show you what I'm going to do with them. Hopefully there's enough of the felt to do this, but let's go and work it all out. I've talked to you about this bed setup before. It's very Nordic. Actually, it's called Norderly from IKEA. I don't know if they stock this anymore, but I love this bed. And I think when you're small home living, it's just great because the drawers go back such a long way. There's a strip in the middle for storage as well. It's a king size bed and the bedboard is huge. I mean, it's absolutely huge. It also means you do not need bedside tables because I've got the little tray set up. And it also comes with a little hook pot there as well. Although I've taken mine off just because I feel it's a little bit cluttery and I didn't want it, because I ended up just putting like tablets in there or pens, and they will have homes. They don't need to be in a pot by the side of my bed. So get back on track, Cher. I'm so sorry. I know I go off on one sometimes. The reason I've got the extra felt is because when we bought this bed, it came with felt on the top. Right, let's bring you a bit closer so you can see. Sorry if you can see the leads. At the back down here, there is my radio lead and then my phone charger, and they just slot into the back, which is great. When we bought the bed, it came with these little bedside tables. I will show you the books because I know lots of you will ask what books I've got on my bedside. But let me just tell you about the felt first and then we'll share the books. So it came with felt on the top, but obviously over years the felt gets worn. They can go into the washing machine. I think a little bit of biscuit just dropped off. I do like a biscuit sometimes with my cup of coffee when I'm reading in bed, and I think a little bit just dropped off. Anyway, they already come with their own felt, so you can see it's really gone bobbly here, and I just want to replace them with the felt that I've got. You can see that my hair is growing by the second. It feels like it is absolutely huge already, and it's still very wet. It's still got a lot of puffiness to go, let's say. So my plan is I'm going to use the original as a guide, cut round, and then hopefully we'll have two nice new fresh felt toppers for the bedside shelves. Well, that looks so much better. Nice clean lines, but warm felt next to the bed. Yeah, very cozy. I'm very happy with it. That does look so much better. The felt really did need replacing, and being felt, it still means that it's nice and soft and cozy. But I realised I didn't share my bedside table reading books with you, so I'm just going to go and grab them and I'll share those with you, because I know so many of you love slow living style books, seasonal books, or books that just help you to feel good about yourself. And I feel that having a good stock of those next to the bed is so important. I tend to pick those books up when I need a 5-minute read before I go to sleep. So say, for example, if I had a really long day and I'm not prepared to read a whole chapter of a book, I'll pick one of these books up. I tend to pack them if we're going away anywhere. And if I am just feeling a bit blue and I need cheering up, these are my go-to books. Good Vibes, A Good Life is the first one by Vex King. I'm not going to talk lots about this one because I shared it on a recent vlog. The Comfort Book by Matt Haig. If you are looking for any sort of comfort or coziness, then this is the book to have on your bedside. The next one is The Happiness Year, a lovely book all about the seasons. There's gorgeous pictures in here as well as lovely text. I've recently shared this book as well. It's been on my bedside since Christmas and I keep picking it up. A Year Unfolding by Angela Harding, a beautifully illustrated guide to nature through the seasons. Stunning. Well, it's just coming up to 3:15. It's almost dark outside. It's very, very grey, and I feel like it's an afternoon just to do a little touch of baking. Please do excuse my hair. I know that it is huge. I feel like Monica from Friends when she is in the humidity and her hair puffs out. That's exactly how I feel today. We're all set up for baking, but I'm going to do a very, very easy bake today. I wanted to show you something actually because I like to have a couple of these in the cupboard just in case I feel like baking, but I haven't got the time really to do a full-on bake. I absolutely love these. These are by Wright. So this is an orange cake mix, but I think they do a chocolate one, maybe a lemon one. I can't remember all the different varieties. This is the orange cake mix. It's super easy. All we need to do is add some oil and some water. I'm just going to start with lining my loaf tin with some butter. These are great. It says it makes 1 cake or 24 cupcakes or 12 muffins. So we pour the flour mix in. ,200 millilitres of water. And 4 tablespoons of oil. I am going to add a little bit of dried fruits and nuts into my mixture, just a little bit. Just adding some of the dried fruit gives it a little bit more of a richer taste.
In my conscience, am I too far gone? Does the good mean there must be something more? Bring me back to what I know. What I know is what I know. Yes, you are home.
Some of you may remember that I'm taking care of my best friend's cheese plant. I've put her cheese plant and my cheese plant together and it is absolutely thriving. We've got lots and lots of new shoots. I think it really likes being here. Look at this one about to come out. My friend will just love seeing this. We've got another shoot there. When they come out, they are so bright green. Absolutely beautiful. Here's one of the older leaves and that was part of Lauren's plant. So if I go down here, so you can see that the new shoot is actually definitely from my friend's plant. Incredible.
Yes, you are home. The common ground of difference is where I find you. Different kinds of moments measured out in scars, where you showed me that no one is ever too far. Bring me back to what I know.
Well, it's just coming up to 4:30. It is very, very close to being fully dark outside. It's a true winter's evening this evening. I am so looking forward to getting off to Aqua though, and then getting in and just being at home again. I'm looking out of the big arch window and it is almost completely in darkness. We've gone past winter solstice, so the nights are slowly getting a little bit shorter, which is lovely. It's not dark at 3:30, it's now 4:30 and it is almost dark. I haven't told you yet about the work that we are having done, hopefully starting this weekend. I mentioned in a previous vlog that we have a friend of ours called Daniel who comes round and he just works magic in our home. He really helped us with our kitchen. He also helped me to redesign my bathroom and the cupboard on the landing. And he's got a few new tasks. On Saturday, he's going to start in the shoe cupboard. So at the moment we have got, well, come and have a look, but do excuse the mess because it's pre-organisation stage. I've not yet done anything in there because I know that the work is going to be done. I don't even think shoes are together. It is quite the shambles in there, which, as you'll know, it's not normally how I live. However, since the new year, we've known that this work is going to be going forward, and I've just pretty much just let it be, because once it's all done, hopefully it will look beautiful and we will have a very, very organised cupboard. I'm going to have to turn on the light because it is quite dark in here. Ooh, hope that didn't blind you. There we go. As you know, that's our pantry cupboard. You've seen a lot of that. But this here is the shoe cupboard, and this is where the work is going to be taking place. Okay, it's okay. It's not too bad, but it's not really how I would normally have this cupboard. So at the moment you can see that I've just basically piled shoes up. We've got some IKEA boxes in here, and then this is the IKEA shoe rack. Quite narrow, so there's quite a lot of wasted space. What we'd like to do is have this kitted out with shelving from the front of the door right to the back of the wall. But the shelving we want to be removable, but we want it to look aesthetically pleasing as well. So hopefully we will have some sort of shelving, maybe thinner than this cupboard. Let me show you the pantry. You have probably seen a lot of this cupboard already. This is the pantry cupboard. We're hoping that the shoe cupboard can also have the same colour staining so that they both match. Maybe not as thick as the wood in here because we don't want to lose any height. And if we were going to have maybe 3 or 4 shelves in there, you can imagine that the height of 3 or 4 of these shelves would almost take up the height of a shoe. So we'll be looking for some wood half the height. I'm really looking forward to having that work done. I always have felt like that cupboard is such a waste of space because of those IKEA shelvings are just so narrow, and we could almost get double the amount of shoes in there. Not that I have double the amount of shoes, but we could always put some extra storage boxes in there, or just have our shoes laid out neatly so that we can find everything. Cake is done. Turn the oven off, otherwise I'll worry when I'm in the pool. Wow, oh, it looks gorgeous. It looks truly delicious. You can see how well these loaf cakes turn out, and adding the dried fruit inside just makes this orange cake even more delicious.
What I know is what I know is you are home. What I know is what I know is you are home.
Well, I did say that my hair would be huge, and it really, really is. And actually underneath it is still quite wet. I am soon off to the swimming pool, and I'm really looking forward to just getting home afterwards after my nice long swim. Just thinking about what to have for dinner tonight, and I think we're going to have a kids meal. And for a kids meal, I mean halloumi, cheese, toast, beans, mushrooms. And do you know what will make it even better? Serving it up in a bowl. There is nothing like a bowl of food, a bowl of dinner on a very, very cold, dark, wintry January evening. I was going to share with you the second project that we're going to have going on at home, but GB is in the office today and he's working back to back, and I need to be in there to show you the footage of what we're going to have done. But because it's not happening immediately, we're going to have the shoe cupboard done first. I think I'll wait and share that with you closer to the time that it's being completed. It is a real joy hearing from you, whether you are commenting on YouTube or Instagram or sending me an email. I feel like I have made so many friends, so many pen pals, and I did not expect that from my YouTube journey. And I can't tell you how much I appreciate your friendship. So thank you so much, and please do keep your comments and your messages and your emails coming. I love seeing your photos. Recently I've seen photographs of foxes in your gardens, your pets, your families, your weather where you live, your homes. And it really makes me feel like I'm getting to know you. I'm sharing my life on YouTube. So it's really nice to hear from you and hear about your ways of life and your corner of the world. So please do keep in contact. Thanks so much for spending the last couple of days with me. I'll see you all again on Wednesday. So take care and see you then. Bye for now.